when my mind stays in disarray. But at the end of the day, I wanna make sure that I said everything I intended to say. Then again, in a way, sometimes it's better just to chill on tape, put your grill on safe, cause the real gon' take what you say in the heart. But the people that wanna break it down still gon' hate, so I might as well go and shoot straight with them. It's only
Yo, what's up? It's your boy 3CP. I'm talking like I'm doing a YouTube video, cause that's my YouTube stuff. 3CP, there goes the game and all that crap. Whatever. Y'all know me as Rob G, whatever. If you listen to on Facebook, pretty much everybody who know me from over there. But this is episode 2, and we got a pretty good little response on part 1. Even though I didn't think it was my best one, because I was just kind of setting the tone to let people know who some of the people were, and I left a few people out. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you about that. But I just didn't do my best, because I'm trying to remember some of the stuff for the stories that I know. Then I want to bring on people and bring their stories. So I might have like I was telling you to do Jason, who never got caught. Like I'll probably have him on the show soon, because he's easy to come here. Like a lot of people easily can get here and get on something. This others like out of town, it's gonna be kind of hard. Maybe through the phone or something we can get it, whatever. But yeah. So when I was telling y'all about like people, we had to make a decision, because it's gonna be kind of so you can know who is who. So when I say there was like a Jen, and there was a Jen from Tyler, there was 2 Jens. So remember I told you I went to the interview, there was Jen there, and there was Stephanie. Like remember Stephanie, the mean lady, they called her Dragon Lady too for some reason. Jennifer. Okay, Jen. So there's a Jen supervisor that was there, did the interview, all that. Then there's the Jen, the one I said of the super counter. So we'll just call Jen supervisor, Jen super counter. So there's 2 different Jens. So like Jen super counter kind of gave that Dragon Lady name to Stephanie, right? Okay, so let you know that. No, now I didn't get into what Jen supervisor was, but she was kind of like Stephanie too. Like off the job, she might be real nice to you, off the job, talking whatever, but when it's like work time, she'll be yelling at you. She'll be, man, even if it's not work time, if you break the rules, like people will try to bring beer and stuff on the vans and stuff, and she had that sense of who got beer on here, and she'll stop and throw it out before I'm not leaving till you throw it out and stuff. Like she was one of them type that it was get on to you if you wasn't doing your job type. Like, so she was here from the beginning too. Like, so you'll hear a lot about Jen supervisor for a while to the end, pretty much. So it's and there was a whole phrase called "It Could Happen," and everybody knows who was on the van that day. It could happen turned into like a little phrase for a while. So, and that's way 2015, I think. I'll tell you, we got to get in. I can't wait to get into those stories. But that was that. But I forgot to bring out somebody who was there from the beginning too. She left for a little bit, but she came back. She came back like a month later, maybe, when I started. But she was already been there, and E. They called her E. Sometimes Jen super counter, we'll call her like Ernie at times. But E was going through, like, early on in the year, like I said, I don't want to put people's business out and what happened. Like, I don't know what they do down then, but then she liked women, so she liked women and stuff. And she, like, I'm telling you, it was a point of a time, like, most of the women E went through, either they was straight, she turned them gay, or they was that. I'm telling you, E was taking women, like, literally. There's a story about this. She was literally taking other guys' women, and I was like, wow. It was just how she, it was weird. But thing about E could be like a co-host for this show, because she's seen all kind of stuff. She's seen stories that she wasn't even a part of. She's part of, like, 30. That's another one we got to get on the show, because she knows a lot of stuff. She's seen everything. So that was there. Then I forgot about Yada. They called her Yada, Kim Yada. She started with me. She was a counter too. she had some few stories, but I just mention her because she was kind of a main type character at a few times. So and you know, she's still friends with me today on like I see her on Facebook and stuff. And she used to be big, but now she's small. That's I don't know. It's like she looked way different when she was there, and then now that I see she look way different, way better than all that, you know. So that was two people I want to mention there. But with that being said, we're gonna get into some more stuff, and I'm gonna give y'all background of like, okay, what the hell was we doing at this job? I know that I said we was counting inventory and stuff, counting Walmarts. That was the big contract we had. But how much money was he making? See, that was going through this lawsuit at the time. I didn't know. But dudes, we were struggling to make money. We wasn't making a lot of money. Like, dudes were not making a lot of money. I mean, if you was here for a while, then you got raises. It took a while. Sometimes it took forever. It took forever for me to get my raises at one point of time through the year. But I just say like, this was when they was paying us bi-weekly. So this like an average regular new person, you might make like $450 at a tech, $430. That's not every 2 weeks, so you kind of like, well, that's not that great. I mean, that's good for if you don't have no place, if you don't have no rent or nothing, or you live with your mom or something and stuff. And then that's chump change. Okay, you can kind of survive on it, but it wasn't nothing. It was like, because it was a dude named Mike, like I said, part of the chicken crew, and he would always every time he see his check, he'd be like, I'm finna quit, man. I'm finna quit, dog. I'm finna quit. Man, but he never ended up quitting until the y'all know the chicken story. But that was like the theme of it. Every payday, everybody was always mad about their checks. Every week, you wake up in the morning, you don't want to talk to nobody, especially because we got paid on Thursdays. So Thursdays, people would be looking at their checks, so you could call in on your card and stuff. You can see you can hear how much you made, and never fails. People was complaining, I ain't doing nothing today. That was the thing. Plus, just in the morning, people was just they just acted like you did something to them every morning. Dudes with this, no, don't talk to me, man. It's too early in the morning for this, man. Too early for the morning. You know, you just everybody is just angry in the morning. Cause I mean, yeah, I gotta wake up just like you have to wake up in the morning. So that's the kind of the thing. So you can see, okay, people get up in the morning and they are mad most of the time, but Thursday extra mad because of the checks. But like Tuesday, Wednesday, they just in that mood. Oh, they didn't smoke, because like I said, people smoke, drank, party all night. Then the morning come around, they hung over and kind of just don't want to be there type stuff. But with that said, this is when I had bought a car from an auto shop, and I remember I got it because this is my dude Ace and Mike. I picked them up a few times from work when I got the car, and then the chicken thing happened like a week or two after that. So now I remember stuff is coming back to my head. The chicken stuff happened a few weeks after that, because after I got the car, they rode with me. Like, I take them to work, they ride with me to work. I take them to the meat spot, and we would that's what we know, we'd ride, I'd take them to work. But then it didn't happen no more because they was gone, and it was like maybe a week after I got my car. So that's how I remember the chicken store was early, because I got my car and they were still there. Then a week later it was gone. So, but like when I got my car, it was things like, I would, like, people would always ride in my car because they want to smoke. They want to smoke on the van, because the van we rode on, the van I rode on for most of the time was like the van with Jennifer and Stephanie. So, you know, you can't do nothing on that van. But Swerve, that's what they call it. Okay, that was Kevin. Oh yeah, Kevin, they call it Swerve, and he got the name from like he told me he got the name because he was always swerving in and out of different women's rooms and stuff. But I'm getting that in a minute, the scandals and the affairs and stuff. But that's what he said. But other people say because he was swerving in lanes and driving, and I done been with him a few times where he's just driving. But that was what they called him. So they didn't. If I say that, I say swerve a lot. That means that's Kevin. We're talking about Kevin, the New Orleans guy, right? All right. So I got my car right, and like I said, people, if you drove, let's say we had a store in Longview, and it's not there but like 10 minutes. Well, it's anything close. Sometimes you can drive your car. And people would ride with me because they can just smoke and stuff. And I was in there. People would, I wouldn't say no. That was my problem. I was always not saying no. But I don't smoke. I don't do none of this stuff. And I didn't. And then it eventually would backfire and get on to me every single time. Every single time it would hurt me instead of the guys who smoked in the car. They just smoking, having a party, having a great time. Like one instance, I was in the car when I was taking somebody home. Like I think Jason was in the car a lot. He rode with me a lot because he didn't have a car, so he would ride with me to the meat spot a lot when we started roommating and stuff too. And it just he would be smoking and stuff. Like I'm talking about like weed stuff. I'm talking about the cigarettes, and they smoke cigarettes too. I hate it when people smoking cigarettes in my car. And so one particular time I was going to pick him up because we was going to the Lindale, which is not but like right up the street. We had a hotel there because that's where we was working at this week. So I'm going to pick him up, and I didn't see that one of my taillights was out in the car. One of my taillights was out in the car, right? So I get stopped. I'm like just a few blocks away from Jason's place, and I get stopped. And once I get stopped, I'm thinking, okay, hey, like give me a warning, let me get out of here, right? So then if I can remember correctly how he did it, he told me to step out the car because he smelled marijuana or something, or he saw like the way my windows were residue or whatever. But that was the thing. People were smoking, they would just smoke and they just leave the car smelling like it. They didn't care. And Jason had a habit of like dropping stuff. I think everybody who smokes had this habit. Everybody who had a habit of dropping whatever they smoke. Oh, I can't remember, you seen that sweet I had one? And you reaching in your pocket looking. People who smoke, why is that? The smokers let me know that. Why y'all have a habit of dropping stuff? So like I like one or a few times I like found stuff under my seat. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I said, oh, that was why. So at this time he's telling me to step out the car and stuff. I'm like, oh shoot. Because Jason had rolled me like the day before. And I'm like, man, I hope this dude didn't drop nothing in his seat. And they make me stand behind where the cop car at. They make me stand back there. And another cop, he's talking to me like, what do you do? You know how they just want to get a conversation with you. And I'm like, yeah, I do this inventory, and they talking about, oh, that's cool. How long it take you to do the store? But the dude is searching the car. Like, he's literally searching it and going around and around. He is determined to find something. And like, he just keeps searching and searching. And because I'm thinking, man, this is ridiculous. I'm gonna go to jail because these people smoking. This is where I was like, man, I can't let nobody smoke in the car no more. But I ended up still doing it because it's early in the year, and I shut it down recently, like a few years. But as this dude's still searching the car, I'm panicking because I'm thinking that's what happened. And as I'm looking, because I'm not that far from Jason's place, and Jason doesn't know none of this. He thinking because I put my phone down. I think my phone's in the car or something, so I couldn't tell him, hey, I'm down here. Hey man, come here, tell this dude I don't smoke or whatever. And but I couldn't do nothing because my phone was in the car and I wasn't gonna go over there and try to get it. So as he's searching, I'm just sitting there looking. He finally doesn't find nothing, right? Finds nothing, and he's like, well, we're gonna give you a warning for this tail light. And that's when I go to Jason, like, man, I almost went to jail. He's like, wow, bro, you should have got me, man. You should have came and got me out of that shit. I couldn't get you, nigga. My phone was in the car. I wasn't finna run, go nowhere or whatever. And then the nigga started smoking in the car anyway. All right, I'm good. You ain't gonna. I'm gonna spray. I'm gonna do this, whatever. That's the type of stuff I used to go through, right? So with that being said, the stuff that that's kind of the stuff I would go through, like when I have my car, and that's how I remember I got my car early, because like I said, the chicken crew guys got fired about a week after I got that car. And so at the job, people would they would go and, like, when I first started working there, like I said, I thought when I said they roomed me with the gay dude, I'm thinking that happened like about a month later, I think, because I remember Rob rooming with a dude named from Tyler too. His name was Rob. He do tattoos. If anybody from the city knows, y'all know what I'm talking about. He was my roommate. I think he was my first roommate, because we had the first Walmart going down, and the first Walmart before, because now stuff is coming back to me now. January through end of February, January, the whole month of January, we did like random stores, like Dallas. Go to Dallas, do a store in the mall. You know, just like a few of the crew, like maybe Tyler, one van, or maybe some Streetport people come help, whatever. But we was just like 3 hours, 4 hour stores, right? And I remember my first ever store, we did like a Goodies in Tyler, and Stephanie put me on this jury, and I was so slow and bad at it. The store took like 2.5 hours, maybe 3. I was on that tag the whole time. She came over like, "You still on this tag?" And she was mad, like, "Come on." She had somebody come help me. I'm like, "Dang, I'm not gonna last on this job long." That's my first store. But that's the kind of stuff, like, when I first started doing, when they put you in the Walmart, you gotta start in the clothes, right? You gotta start in the clothes. That's why I started. I eventually moved my way up. Well, I started doing good in the clothes, and I moved up. Like, I won't put you in the hard lines now. Got in the hard lines, did terrible, went back into the clothes. But I eventually worked my way up, you know. But so when we, like this to get a little insight, if people don't know the job or what we would do, and kind of because some of the stuff on the job ties into some of the stories and stuff, because some stuff happened on job, on site, and not always at the hotel. So if you was a good counter, you know, you didn't have to count the clothes, you would count like other stuff and all the other stuff. And at this point, it was like about money, so you would count a whole bunch of stuff in an hour, and that's your average. So let's say you count like I said, Jen super counter, she used to count all the electronics. And if we go to help her, all she would see, like, she don't touch nothing over here but the CDs and DVDs. That was it. That's all she wanted us to count, CDs, DVDs. But so it was about money. So dudes would cheat during like lunchtime, and we go count these microwaves right quick, get some money and stuff, like, because that's how you kept your job, your number, your money. Right about years later, it started turning to pieces, but that's how it was. So like I said, remember I told you about Diana? There was this chick named Diana, and she would count wherever the hell she wanted to count it, pretty much. And this is the first instance when I knew that DB was on these women. Like, I can't say, like, let's just say, let me see, come on, Perry. Allegedly, everything will be alleged, all right? Let's say allegedly. But DB, Kev, Swerve, Uncle Ricky, guys like that. I mean, all these guys, everybody you thought was not knocking something off was knocking stuff off. Like, I'm talking about not nice looking. Like, Uncle Ricky was knocking off this one chick named Michelle. She was from Dallas. She was cute too. And I think because if you smoked, you pretty much had any woman you wanted. If you smoked and drank, you had any woman you wanted. Especially if you smoked and you sold weed, you had anything, any woman ever. Like, that was the thing, right? So what was it? I think Swerve had this chick. I'm gonna call her Stick Lady because I don't remember her name, but I remember she was skinny and she was from Dallas too. And Swerve had this stick. They used to go to get into like crazy fights, if I'm not mistaken. They used to get in like fights, and she would throw stuff. And I'm kind of remembering my head. But like I said, this was like you do this on the job, but go home differently. You know, this dude's married. at home, but he's got this woman on the road. That's the type of thing it was. So if you was at this job and you had somebody who worked at this job and you wanted to worry about them not cheating all day, like, oh, I'm not cheating, they was probably lying. Pretty much about 95%, 90% of the people who had somebody, and if they told you, oh, I'm just going to my room chilling, probably wasn't. Probably was getting knocked off, especially when Texarkana was here, the original Texarkana, because Texarkana came back, but it was on like 5 people. But see, that's later on in the year. Years later. So, because we will get into that later. So, like I said, there was that Uncle Ricky, and like it's gonna be different women. It seemed like that was his main type of. I think this is his main chick. I think Michelle was like Uncle Ricky's main chick at this point, right? And like I said, this girl Diana, she used to be real nice to me, right? And she was cool and everything, but I didn't really think she was that attractive. She looked like she used to wear these pants, but they didn't. She made it like her body made it look like she wouldn't have no body on her. And so one day I was chilling with the Texarkana dudes. Like I said, I used to chill with them a lot most of the time. And so one of the dudes was like, I remember his name. His name was Fat Mac. He's like, man, you seen what's the name? Mogul? Cause we had Mogul Space was kind of popping there at this point. So you seen that on the Mogul Space page? I think it was Mogul Space, or was it another page? Whatever it was. I'm like, nah, I ain't seen it. And he's like, here, search that. Whatever. He showed it to me. And I looked. And I was like, God damn. She was fine. Like, doing the work, she didn't make herself look that great. But on these pictures, she had a body and everything. Like, what she hiding? She was hiding everything. I'm telling you, it was like, wow. I was shocked, I'm shocked. And ever since I seen that, I looked at her differently. I was flirting with her and stuff. I used to be like, man, every time I get by a counter with her, and she started kind of this flirting with me too and rubbing on me and stuff. And at this point, I didn't know nothing like what hell were she and DB had going on. I didn't know none of this. I didn't know a lot of stuff. But when I seen this, I was like, what was happening? One day, I don't know, cause DB, he still was kind of like a supervisor. He kind of was a manager, so he kind of walked around still to make sure the crew was doing everything and everything. He might have seen it, cause she was everywhere. And now that's why when I figured out what like him and her were kind of a couple type thing, then I see why she was always just going wherever she wanted. Pete would try to tell her do this, and she was like no, because she didn't give a damn, because she knew DB was got her back. Like I said, everybody who had these women put in most of was married, right? Let's just put that out there. Right? Allegedly, let's say allegedly, so to make sure everybody be safe. Allegedly. So one day, after that point, because you see, it was never nothing like this. And so after that point, I seen that Mogul Space page, and I started kind of talking a little bit to her more, and all of a sudden, he would put her like in different spots, like all by herself, or she could go wherever. But one day, DB put me in this. He put me in the fish hooks one day, and I was like, I never counted the fish. Everybody know about fish hooks. These are the worst places to count, especially in 2007 when you had to count them and stuff. I didn't know the secret, and I'm thinking at the point I'm like, damn, what did that must be punishment. What the hell did I do? I was on that tag for like an hour and a half. Like, it was like 3,000 piece tag. I was on that tag forever. He said he came around and seen me still on that tag, like, cause everybody was left and finished their tag. And I was still. It was like it was getting ready to be done. I was still on this tag, and I was like, then I kind of thought about like, man, he must have been doing that because he thought I was trying to get his girl or something. That was just the funny, like I said, I never had a problem with DV, but that was funny. But she ended up getting fired, right? And this is where I heard another, let's say allegedly, she went to his wife or wherever and started just telling everything, and like she was like a stalker at this point, and just stalking him and telling stuff. I'm like, wow. And this night the last. That's just one. That's one. But that's not the last. So when Dinah was gone, it's gonna go to somebody else. Now I don't remember who was the next one after this, but right after this, I think it was a few others. But let's just say we're gonna get to the greatest one in the middle when it was this. Let's just call her Duck Lady. When Duck Lady comes, when Duck Lady comes, it's something that's gonna be. It's gonna all the shit gonna hit the fan, right? So that was I just had that instant like this because I think when he probably seen her because I didn't know there was rumors. She gave me a number, so I used to text her and stuff a few times, and I'd be texting her and be like, yeah, I want to come see you and stuff. I'm just bullshitting, whatever, and saying stuff. So how to do. She might be laying in the room with this dude. He's probably reading text, and that's probably how he must have. Like, I'm gonna put this thing on fish hooks tomorrow. He trying to attack my girl or something. That's just what I thought, But that was like the type of stuff that was going on around her, So with that being said, when we first finally started doing the first Walmarts, the very first Walmarts, my very first one, we stayed in a real nice hotel. Oh yeah, we first did the mock inventory. We meet everybody. That's where everybody met up, and bam, bam, bam. This is this person. This is this guy. This is who you talk to for this. They was just introducing people. And I left out one girl. I think, was she still here early? Yeah, her name was Stephanie, right? Not another Stephanie. This Stephanie had big, like, she was a big Stephanie, like a big girl, a BBW type Stephanie. And she did the cards, right? And she would walk around the whole time and not do the cards and wait till it was over to make sure all of us came in helping to do the cards. And one thing, she had some real big feet. That's one thing to notice. I like, she had real big feet. And then come to find out, I found like a year later that she was like a real freak. She's like a real freaky big girl. It's like she would take her shirt off and stuff in front of dudes and flash them. Like, that's why I'm hearing like crazy stories about her. But at this point, like I was looking, I was like, that she kind of big, and she had some big feet. That's what stood out to me. She had some big feet. But she was the first person that she was like, when we was introducing everybody, she was like, yeah, y'all you gonna do cards. Don't try to get away from it. You gonna do the cards after it's over. Everybody used to run from the cards. I always ran from them too. I didn't do no damn cards. But we had that right. So the first Walmart, we stayed in like this Marriott or something. It was in Monroe. I remember it. It was a nice hotel. Y'all remember, if people know it, every time you go past Monroe, when you get to Monroe, that one on the left is like the Wingate or something. It's real nice and right. After this, we stayed in this Motel 6s and Roach Motels after this, because I think this one incident, they had like a bar. Like this had a bar, like how you see in a bar, if you go to a bar and somebody, they give you the beer and you can like pull a lever and beer come out. Well, they had one of those. And why would they book us at a hotel with that, with all these drunks and drinkers? And like, see, at first the dudes, it was like a guy who was doing it for him, but then people just started bringing their cups, bringing jugs, bringing everything, just putting their mouth under the thing and drinking it. I'm telling you, the whole crew was pretty much black folk, besides like 3 or 4 people, right? When I first pretty much from here on out, 3 or 4 white dudes may come around. But it was pretty much, the management was all black besides Pete, and the whole crew was pretty much black besides a few guys. Like the main guy, like I said, Zane was like the main guy that stayed around that was white, but Zane wasn't really white. Like, you heard Zane talk, like I said, you hear him rap or whatever, you thought he was a black dude, but whatever. So they was doing this. This was like the Dallas people, the Texas County people really they went hard on it. And they was just getting these beer kegs, and they were just abusing this stuff. And the lady, I remember we had like a meeting or something the next day, talking about, y'all not supposed to be drinking and stuff like that, getting the beer by yourself and stuff. But they didn't listen. They still did it the whole week. We never stayed at that hotel again. Never, ever again, because of that one incident. I think that's when they started just booking us in the worst hotels ever after that. But that's how I remember the first Walmart we had to do, right? So like I said, we on the road, not really making a lot of money if you first when you're starting. So you struggling to get food. Sometimes there's people to look out for you. Dudes will be cooking like spreads, whatever they call it. Like it was sometimes like jailhouse stuff. Like you had to make spreads and shit. Like dudes was really struggling and doing what they had to do to get food, right? So that's when I knew that. And I remember this should have been early in the year because I had my car for a while, but it might have been around these first years that I had my car. That like one instance when we drove through a Walmart and I got a ticket, and then I forgot. I don't know what I did. I forgot about it or something. I just didn't have the money to pay for it, but it ended up turning into a warrant. And it was 4 guys in the car. I think Cooter Bang was in the car. I think Jason was in the car. And somebody from Shreveport, I think. And I know it was 4 of us. Well, me and 3 other people. So I'm driving, and I think I was caught speeding, or it might be my light. But we on I-20. I think it was I-20. It was one of the highways in Shreveport. It was like on the highway part of Shreveport. Like, I believe it was 20 or something. And I get pulled over, and now I'm forgetting all about the warrant. I'm thinking I don't think he was in a warrant, and I'm kind of forgetting all about it. But I'm thinking maybe hopefully they don't check it because I might be going to jail, because I don't know if it's a warrant or not. Because I'm thinking maybe I'm good. And like if it ain't, because it's been a while, like oh shoot, I might be going to jail. I'm panicking, like my heart is beating. I'm in my car. This dude walks up to me, and he's like, you know how fast you're going? I can't remember basically what he asked me, but he said something to me, right? He said, "Let me see your license." Then he's like, "Oh, you from Texas?" Oh, okay, I'll let you go then. Me being from Texas kept me from going to jail. He's like, "Oh, you from Texas?" Oh, okay, well, I'll let you go, or just make sure you drive safe. I think I didn't change the light. I think I didn't signal or something. But since he seen I was from Texas, he was like, "Okay, yeah, we'll let you go, man." It was a black dude. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so lucky," because like a week later, I found out that the thing turned into a warrant. I had to get my dad to help me pay for the damn. It was like $300 ticket. But yeah. So that's what was going on, y'all. When I first kind of seen this job, okay, now I'm thinking, okay, bunch of drinking, affairs, drugs, cheating, whatever. And that's like I'm naming this just a few people. Like in my mind, my head, I know there's a few other people, and it's gonna be a few other people come on throughout the year. But that's just a few. Like I said, I'm gonna give you like some of the main characters. But that's kind of what that's what to set the background, like to set it up for what was going around. So you could be in this job. You can see a female, you might be thinking, oh, she ain't talking to nobody, or he ain't doing it. You would never know. Like the one you would never know would be the one in this girl's room, spend the night with her, whatever. You like, dang. And then a few months later, when the person gone, the stories will come out, and you be like, wow, he was knocking her off, or she was in his room, she was doing this. And then it was crazy because you just never knew. You never, like, I never do, but seemed like everybody's business came out. People's business, like whatever happened, people it was never a secret because somebody knew about something. And that was how this job was. And sometimes it felt like my first, like, now this is going through my first years. I mean, it was cool because, we, like I said, I'm liking, I'm kind of on the road, and I go to the room, chill, play the game with the dudes, I wasn't saying much, but I like to observe stuff. So if y'all hear me talking, and a lot of people who know me, you're like, okay, dang, that's what I was thinking, or what's happening with him. Like, because I never really said a lot. But as the years went on, I started saying a little bit more and stuff, and people started knowing me. But still, this is kind of me observing. So it's still like this is kind of like my stuff, but it's still like some stories that I'm saving until we get to the parts where it comes. So I'm trying to go year by year, or like throughout the year. So let me make sure I got everything correct before let me see if I end this. Oh, where we at? 34 minutes. But anyway, while you listen to this, go to my Facebook page, Instagram, and if you like custom made shoes, hey, go take my shoes out. They expensive because they made from Italian leather. They $219. I got some blue and gold different one coming out too. Now I know y'all niggas be playing $300, $400 for some Jordans and stuff. $200, you get a shoe that nobody's gonna have. It's gonna be a shoe that nobody has. Nobody's gonna have it. I mean, y'all support all these white folks and they stuff. Support black dude. Support black business. Support your own. You know. I just did my little plug there. But let me see. I want to keep this episode going. I told y'all about what was going, like the fairs and stuff, the affairs and the stuff with the rooms. Like, to tell you the truth, 07, I can't remember a lot of stuff going on at the room, but I do remember, like I said, my first roommate was Rob, and I remember him. He said he met some girls or something, and he had been gone like that whole night and came back like late or something, and he was telling about how he met up with some chicks or something from the Walmart or something. I'm thinking that was one that I remember, because I didn't think like I didn't when I first like I said, I didn't know. I kind of just felt like, okay, everybody's gonna be at the room chilling, whatever. It was a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff that we need to. Once I bring some guests on, we'll start revealing like, wow, all of this was going on. People might have been snorting crack around here, man. It was dudes snorting crack and doing all kinds of like that. I'm telling you, that was the type of stuff that people was on. Especially, oh yeah, there was a guy in Dallas named Cowboy. I think he was a crackhead. I think he was snorting stuff, and he would go in. That's how he would count so fast or something. I believe so. I remember this guy. Now see, a lot of people are coming back to my head. I remember Cowboy. He was a white guy, and I think he was on some stuff, and he was just. That's the reason he was counting so fast. He was on some stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, JP, the guy I said he did the tats, he had this girl from Dallas, and they was always arguing all the time. This is before he was luring ladies in to give tats. He had like a little girl that he was with, and they was always fussing and arguing and stuff and fighting. It was so hilarious. It was always every week. And when she finally got fired, that's when he started transitioning. Oh, hey baby, you want a tattoo? You like tattoos? And that's he actually did my tattoo. Like, the dude, it's good work. He actually did most of my. I think out of the 10 I got, he did 8. So yeah, shout out to JP though, man. I don't know if he listen, if he's having he's in my Facebook. I ain't seen him on in a while, but he probably remember it might take him back. Like, wow, you remember that? Yeah, I remember. So yeah, this next episode I'm gonna start getting into some more stuff, like some more personal things that I've seen, and we're gonna move it along though. I'm thinking this 07 kind of 07 to 09 is kind of it is kind of winding down, because a lot of, like I said, the chicken crew got fired, and Texarkana was around for a while, and like I said, they were just bringing stuff to the room, taking your girl, taking your wife, taking whatever they want, doing whatever they wanted, and they was around for a while. And then Dallas was around for a little bit until all of them kind of left, got fired, or they just said we're gonna have a Dallas crew. Like I said, it was only like 3 or 4 people from Dallas left. And then we get into, maybe it was right. It was Dallas, gone. Texarkana, gone. And I believe we go into Arkadelphia. The Arkadelphia crew comes around. Yeah, I believe this is where this is starting. Now it's starting to get good. Yeah, now it's getting my memory is correct. I believe it was Arkadelphia that started. Yeah. At a point of the time, Texarkana completely gone. G included. I believe G, yeah. And Arkadelphia comes around. And this is what things, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm moving. I forget the story. Okay. So before this time, my boy Zane, like I said, the dude looked like Lil Boosie. There's this dude named Lil Chris. And him and Jen Super Counter used to always be, you know how you be in some store and playing around, talking good. Like I said, it's what it is. Stuff happened. Her and Little Chris used to be like an item. That I didn't know that. It was shocking to me because like the way they would be in the store, it was like a friend. Like, hey, Lil Jen was kind of one of the homies and stuff. And I found that I was like, wow, because she ended up like getting pissed off at him, like at one point, like pissed off. But I'm bringing this up because when Zane Autumn came, this is when I should bring Jason on, because I believe Zane said he got jumped by some Mexicans, and JP, the tattoo guy, was Zane's partner, was Zane's roommate, and Zane was trying to get to the door, and he said they whooping his ass, and JP closes the door. And Jason was sitting out there looking at the whole thing, and you know how black nigga, ain't my problem type. Also, the way Jason tells it is hilarious. But now stuff is coming to fruition. Like I'm starting to remember more. So yeah, this is like the 07, 09 type around. And yeah, then there was a Joe from Tyler came around. This dude from New Orleans. Joe was real funny too. He used to rap too. Him and Jason have battles in the bus, like rap battles on the bus, like literal just rap battles and stuff. So that would be going on our van, and I think this is around the time we started going down to one van almost. Well, still two because Swerve was still driving, yeah. But at a point it's gonna be like one. But yeah, now I'm starting to remember. But like I said, we're finna get into the next chapter in a few. But yeah, Arkadelphia comes, and this is when things start getting interesting because I got a new roommate. Jason is gone at this time. Jason leaves. Everybody wanted to leave. Like this job, you wanted to leave, but it was like the job, like it was a job. If you left, you would have to have killed somebody to not get hired back at the job, right? But let's see, Jason was gone, and that's when Kuda Bang was my roommate, the dude I got the game tech phone. And when he left, and that's when we go to Arkadelphia, and a few new people from Tyler come around, and that's when things start getting, like I said, things start getting interesting, because then my boy Sean, who I'm gonna tell you, I think I've told somebody about the story about what he did at our show, how he kind of froze up at the show. We'll tell you that next time. But me and Sean had some interesting stories, and especially the story in Little Rock. So hey man, y'all like that? Drop a like for the episode 3. You ain't gonna want to miss it, man. Arkadelphia comes around, and things start getting really interesting. And like I said, this is it's like I got 10 years worth of knowing this place. I leave, and there's the point where I left. So I haven't left yet. I don't believe. Did I leave? No, I haven't left yet. I think after this around time I'm gonna leave for the first time. So yeah, it's getting interesting, y'all. It's going down.